Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. So there's a lot of buzz swirling around the NFL right now, and it's all pointing towards an intriguing possibility that could reshape the landscape of the AFC East. And for the Bills, that's pretty exciting. Rumors are heating up that the New Orleans Saints might be shopping their young wide receiver, Chris Olave, and that Buffalo could be a prime landing spot. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Olave? That's the kind of weapon we need to take our offense to the next level. And honestly, the more I look into it, the more it makes sense for both sides, especially considering the Saints are in a total rebuild mode right now. Let's break this down a bit. The Saints are currently sitting at a dismal 2-10 record, and they're clearly in a rebuild with a cap space of around $8 million free. They're not just looking to compete right now, they're looking to position themselves for the future, which means making some tough but strategic moves. They have a porous defense that's allowing about 6 points per game, and their offense, led by Derek Carr, just isn't clicking the way they hoped. The Saints are also dealing with cap issues and the need to clear out some money for future extensions, especially on their quarterback, Carr, and some of their defensive pieces. Trading Olave could be a way for New Orleans to free up some cap space, about $15 million, actually, and snag multiple draft picks or a young receiver in return. They're probably prioritizing a future-focused rebuild over holding onto a promising but still raw talent like Olave, especially with their current struggles. Olave, who is just 25 years old, has shown flashes of brilliance. His agility, YAC ability, and knack for creating mismatches are exactly what modern NFL offenses crave. He's the kind of player who can stretch defenses vertically and also rack up yards after the catch, making him a perfect fit for a team like the Bills, who are looking to add more explosive weapons to their arsenal. Now, let's talk about Olave's production. In 2025, he's projected to have around 50 receptions on 80 targets for about 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. His average of 14 yards per catch, and his ability to gain yards after the catch, over 300 yards YAC so far, make him a dynamic threat. His YPRR, yards per route run, is about 1.7, and his EPA per target is around 0.4, meaning he's consistently creating value on the field. Olave's stats also include a 50% rate of contested catches and 12 broken tackles, which shows he's not just a speed guy, but also someone with the body control and toughness to win in tight coverage. Over his career, Olave has accumulated over 500 yards and 20 touchdowns, averaging around 65 yards per game and a YPRR of about 2.2. Those numbers put him in the same conversation as some of the league's top young receivers, and for Bills fans who know how much speed and agility matter, Olave checks all the boxes. But here's the kicker. The Saints are somewhat skeptical about trading him, mainly because of contract considerations and their overall lackluster offensive production, which is only putting up about 15 points per game. Moving Olave would free up cap space, but it also means losing a potentially elite offensive weapon. Still, the Saints seem to be prioritizing their rebuild and cap flexibility over keeping a player who might be more valuable for their future than their present. For the Bills, this could be a massive game changer. Their current group of receivers has been somewhat inconsistent. Samuel and Hardman, for example, are both dealing with injuries, and the team is trying to find stability at that position. Restructuring their cap to bring in a talent like Olave could give Josh Allen yet another explosive target, especially one who can create mismatches in the secondary. Adding Olave would boost their projected yards per game, potentially pushing the Bills' offense to average around 31 points per game, a significant uptick from their current scoring pace. With Olave's speed and YAC ability, defenses would have a much harder time containing Buffalo's passing attack, especially in crucial moments late in games or in the playoffs. Imagine the possibilities. With Olave stretching the field vertically, Allen could have even more space to work with, and the team could better exploit defenses that already struggle to keep up with their dynamic playmakers. His presence could also open up more running lanes for players like James Cook, as defenses are forced to respect the deep threat. Plus, Olave's ability to gain additional yards after the catch means the Bills could be looking at a more explosive, home run hitting offense that keeps defenses on their heels. And this isn't just about individual stats. It's about elevating the entire offense and creating consistent mismatches that help the Bills secure more wins, especially in the high-stakes, late-season games that often determine playoff seeding. With Olave, the Bills could increase their odds of winning close games, especially in the playoffs, where every yard after the catch and every contested catch can be the difference between a trip to the Super Bowl or an early exit. His addition could also help elevate the team's overall EPA, expected points added per play, making their offense more efficient and lethal. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could also have implications for the Bills' Super Bowl chances. Their odds, which are currently around plus 1,500, could see a boost to plus 650 if they acquire a weapon like Olave. That would position them even better in the AFC, especially as they look to take down the likes of the Chiefs, Bengals, or Ravens. The AFC is stacked, sure, but adding a young, explosive receiver like Olave could give the Bills that extra edge they need in the postseason. And let's not forget the history of this sort of move. The Bills have always been aggressive in bolstering their roster at the right moments. The trade for Stefon Diggs in 2020, for example, turned into a game-changer and helped propel them into serious Super Bowl contention. Olave could be that next piece, a dynamic, game-changing talent who can help them reach that ultimate goal once again. Of course, there are still some questions. Will the Saints actually pull the trigger? What draft picks or players would Buffalo need to give up? How will Olave adapt to the Bills' offense, and what kind of chemistry can we expect with Allen? These are questions that only time will answer, but the potential is undeniable. For Bills fans, the thought of adding a player like Olave is pretty exciting, especially considering how much the offense has been looking for that next big playmaker to keep defenses honest. If this trade materializes, it could be the move that pushes the Bills over the top in what's shaping up to be one of the most competitive AFC races in recent memory. So as we keep an eye on the latest rumors and developments, one thing is clear. The Bills are always in the mix, and any move that adds explosive talent is a move worth paying attention to. Whether it's Olave or another target, Buffalo's front office knows how to build a roster that's ready to contend for a Super Bowl, and this rumor only adds to the excitement. The Bills fans are already passionate, but this kind of news fuels our optimism and our hunger for another shot at that Lombardi trophy. Stay tuned, because the coming weeks could bring some serious fireworks, and you can be sure we'll be here to cover every bit of it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe adding Olave could be the spark that pushes this team into Super Bowl territory? Or do you think the Saints might hold on to him or prefer other options? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. We love hearing from our community, and your insights help shape the conversation. Remember, this is a team effort, and we're all in this together as Bills Mafia. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis on everything Buffalo Bills. The offseason is always packed with surprises, and the more we stay informed, the more prepared we are for whatever comes next. Keep your eyes on the team, keep that passion alive, and let's continue to support Buffalo as they chase that elusive Super Bowl. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay loud, stay proud, and let's keep that Bills spirit burning bright.